Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of Trainwreck tonight, sponsored by New York's only Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? I mean, folks, it is November. Sadness right now. It's getting dark way too early. Huge snowstorm coming this weekend. The Bills lose again. The Sabres and UB are in a free fall. But we are about to turn it around tonight. We got Miss Buffalo joining us, Chelsea Lovell, and our very own Stevie Johnson coming up right next. Here we go.
You don't stop. Follow me into the great unknown, where pink flamingos grow. Diet soda flows and what you take magically regenerates. On supermarket shelves, the ovens clean themselves. You don't pay the tab till the last drop. So we all ride for nothing, 'cause this train never stops. We make a good team, me and you, we do. You can scratch my back, and I'll scratch my back too, and everyone is welcome at the party, yeah. People more and more, are we all on board? You don't pay the tab till the last drop, so we all ride for nothing, 'cause this train never stops.
Folks, Trainwreck tonight, 269, sponsored by New York's only Outlet Liquor. We have Maniac and a jam-packed show for you tonight.
Seriously, I woke up this morning, Al. I couldn't believe what had happened yesterday. And I said to myself, you know what? We owe it to the people, though. We're going to be live today. We're going to be on Trainwreck tonight. We're going to have to handle our business, and we're going to have a tough time having fun doing it. So there's nobody better to bring in right now than the czar, the emperor, the El Presidente of Handle Biz. Have fun, Stevie J. Stevie Johnson, how are you doing today, sir?
Thank you, man. Good to see you, Maniac. Good to see you, DJ. It's all love.
Seriously, I mean, I wish it was under better circumstances. Wish it was a victory Monday. Things are kind of coming apart at the seams on this defeat Monday, Al. People are a little bit all over the board.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Stevie.
They crazy, man. They about two tweets away from getting kicked off the wagon, so they better keep it cool.
I mean, Maniac, you had some people in full panic mode, a lot of overreaction. Some people feeling like Vegas, where the Buffalo Bills are still Super Bowl favorites. Odds went from like plus 250 to plus 330, plus 350 in that range. But Maniac and Stevie, I think the biggest thing about this loss yesterday was I just thought this team was different this year. I didn't think they'd lose 2 in a row. I didn't think this team would lose as 11.5-point favorites to the New York Jets. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's right back to where you beat KC again. You really got a stranglehold on that 1 seed. And now you got to maybe not get lucky, but you got to go on a run here and win some games that have a chance to get that 1 seed and not go to a Kansas City on the road this playoffs.
Right. But the thing is, you don't get that feeling of, can we do it though? You know what I'm saying? There's no question about it. So that is the difference about this team. Yeah, it is tough that we didn't close out that game. But don't think that this is a team of the past. You know what I'm saying? Teams that I've experienced, on that gridiron, is definitely not that. No disrespect to that, but at the same time, you still have that feeling. I think the guys out the community still got that feeling. If we need to go on a 3-game win streak, we have all confidence that our guys can do it. So let's just stay locked in. Let's stay on that train. We need to keep that energy that y'all intro got. That's how we got to start playing. Just have some fun out there. Forget it, man.
And I'll tell you what, as much as I turn to Stevie for fashion expertise, as much as I turn to him to, manage my mindset and keep that positive energy going, right now I'm looking to him for that insight, that football insight. He's been in a locker room when things are struggling. He's been with different organizations. So it was a great point you just made, though. This is not your mother's or even your older brother's Bills necessarily in the way that they deal with adversity as a team. We saw in 2020. They struggled in October. They were able to run off, and even with the Hail Murray, which your boy D-Hop, who we all respect as a top receiver in this league, right. They run off a great run after that adversity and go into the playoffs. 2021, they struggle in November, struggle in December. They play, New England in a blizzard and lose a ridiculous game. Still go on a great run, still go on into the playoffs and perform great. So I'm very much confident that this team can turn it around, Al. But yeah, panicking, and I guess it's just frustrating the way it happened, more than the fact that it happened.
So, Stevie, I got to ask you, what do you think? Obviously, like you said, we're still okay. This team's going to turn it around. But, what do you think is the current problem with the Bills these past 2 games?
I think it's just like health. At the same time, you got to understand camaraderie. It's different lineups every time. Not to say that that's a big deal, but I guess that can be a small factor. Maybe this week, I don't know. It's tough because we was up the whole game, so it's hard to say Josh didn't practice all the way with the guys. So there's no real excuse. It's just going out there and finishing the games, I guess, keeping that kill switch on.
And what was up with that Josh stuff all week? Did they know he was playing on Wednesday?
I think that was the genuine trajectory, right, Stevie? I mean, let's face it. Teams keep things under wraps better than the government nowadays. And I think the plan was Wednesday, he's going to play on Sunday, but we need to take it hour by hour, as they were saying.
Right. Yeah. I think they know internally, but at the end of the day, they wanted to be entertainment and real dramatic. And, that's what they got. But it's all for entertainment. I think we 6-3. It's all good.
And speaking of drama and speaking of entertainment, we got a couple more hands here with the man, number 13, the fly guy himself, Stevie Johnson. Stevie, you saw some crazy fan action. In your days. I just want to go through a couple of these. I want you to give me your quick thoughts on these. This was a big one. Al, I don't know if you saw this. Our friend, Bills Mafia, Alyssa, we covered some events there this summer. She penned an open letter to Josh Allen. Now you have Meg on the corner here saying the fan base is deranged, but it's basically this letter, Stevie, is just saying, just don't forget who you are. Where do you rate this on the overall crazy fan scale? On a 0 being normal, 10 being, something absurd that you might want to report to the authorities?
Normal. This is normal.
This is normal, right? We're supporting a player. That's it. Yeah. Now I want to go to this next one here because I think this is just an open letter. I think this is fine. I'm with it. Now this next one I think goes a little bit though. Well, come on, reload for us, people. 1,500 signatures for Josh Allen of moms telling him it'll be okay. Stevie, Josh Allen doesn't need that matriarchal support right now.
Oh, he does. He does because
he does.
Whenever a team lose, any team, it's blamed on the quarterback. So they need that support, and moms give the best support. So yeah, that's supposed to be like that. I'm surprised it's not 2,000 or 3,000.
Okay, that's very fair. I like that take. Okay. With that said, coming out, this is what, and we're running down the trail with Stevie Johnson. Big shout out to him for coming on real quick. This was one of the things that stood out to me the most from yesterday. You got one of the most important guys on the team. Obviously, Josh is taking accountability. I'm sure Diggs was a little down not being able to beat his team, even though he was pretty upbeat after the game. But you got Vaughn. Vaughn is stability. Today was a crazy game, but there's no panic from me.
Yeah. So that's pretty normal because I think he won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams, and they all lost. I think at that time with those teams, they lost more than 3 games, if not 3. So, cool as a cucumber, man.
Speaking of being cool as a cucumber, if you want to make it happen, get yourself some business, handle it, and have some fun. You can do so at the Exposure Academy. I've been to these events, folks. You're getting hands-on coaching. You're getting literally life building. I mean, if you have a young athlete that maybe, can perform on the field, but maybe isn't, the most comfortable talking with coaches or talking with friends or meeting people like that. They're teaching life skills and they are teaching physical skills. Who do we got on staff? We got Anthony Holmo. We got Jamie Richard Jr. Both great guys, both of I met, who have both grown within this program in a way themselves, right, Stevie? And then, of course, you got you handling it at the top.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good program. You said it the best right there. It's not just sports. We teaching kids how to communicate, things that we utilize during our grind to get to the top. And we starting with all the youth kids from 5 and up, and trying to make things happen through our Exposure Academy programs.
Go to hbhf.club. And Stevie, we have I saw big news coming over. What is it? Exposure Academy. We're going north of the border come this spring 2023.
Yeah, exactly. In March, we coming up to Toronto. So we looking for athletes who's ready to tap in and come stay in our Exposure Academy house in March. And you can send your introduction, email to clubhbhf@yahoo.com. If you want to be a part of that. And it's all positions. It's not just receivers or not just DBs. It's linemen, quarterbacks. We even have kickers, you know what I'm saying? So anybody can join, all skill levels. Nobody
Seriously,
left out.
I'm so rooting for my guy Emilio. We will be weaponizing him in the near future, so I'm going to be looking at his career with interest. But I can't wait to see some of the young athletes because believe me, I see, it's one thing to, go catch the ball, but you should see the look in some of these guys' eyes when they're working with Stevie, when they're working with Donald, when they're working with some of these other guys. It's really a unique experience. So shout out to you for always giving back to the community locally, and obviously glad to see you're taking it internationally now, my man.
Yeah, it's big, man. It's only the beginning.
All right, well, listen. The Sabres haven't won in weeks. The Bills haven't won in weeks. But, Al, I think it feels like a win having Stevie on today, getting it going in the right direction.
There's always a way with Stevie J. And Stevie, I got one final question for you that I wanted to ask you. I know we're running out of time here, but what are your thoughts on Trey White and his injury and coming back right now? Because you got guys like Chase Young's being activated. Godwin's been playing obviously this season, similar injuries. So wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is, like some guys come back earlier. All teams, their roster is different. So and then all injuries are different and handled differently. So I'm not mad that he's not out there yet. If he's able to come back during the playoffs, I'm glad that he did miss the entire season to come back even stronger. If he got to miss the playoffs and we're still signing him, okay, we got to think into the future. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real big on like the injuries and really resting and really recovering if you have the time. And we have the skill positions. These guys getting good opportunities to learn and get this game experience. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to help us later on. Once again, I was a guy that played through a lot of injuries. And ultimately, that's not the right way you do it, So I'm kind of cool with him sitting out and getting 100%, 127%.
Okay. No, I appreciate that because it's one of those things where like I thought for sure he'd be back playing Green Bay, and then you know what I mean. Then he's out another week. We don't need him against the Jets, right? We lose. We could have used him yesterday, that's for sure.
Right, definitely, and that's still hope though. You know what I mean? That's what we got to think about as a community, as a Bills Mafia. We don't even have roster and once we get a full roster and a healthy roster, now let's see what happens. If we losing games, it's like, or we can be upset. Now we can scream at the screen because like, come on now, what else is it? So we'll see what happens later on in the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Stevie.
Stevie J, thanks for always coming out and handling business and having fun with us, sir.
Yeah. Shout out Chelsea too, man. She doing her thing.
Oh my gosh! Spoiler alert, courtesy of Stevie. But let's get her on here. We're gonna go.
Hi.
Well, I had a whole segue going on. No one in Buffalo has won since the beginning of November, but we got a person who won this weekend. It's Chelsea Lovell, Miss Buffalo. Welcome to Trainwreck tonight.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are so fun.
Oh my God! Well, of course you're making the media dash. Stevie, you got a question for Chelsea now that she's crowned Miss Buffalo?
Yeah, I don't have a question. I just wanted to give you props and shout you out for what you do. I've been to a few interviews at news stations. It's early in the morning. You got to get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Indeed. Y'all be
Respect.
cool.
Yeah, you too, Stevie. Respect. Thanks. And we got her on now, Chelsea Lovell. Chelsea, tell us what the last. Well, I want to ask what the last 24 hours has been like, but I actually want to go back. You come to Buffalo in late summer. What was the first thought when you realized you were coming to Buffalo, New York?
I was so excited. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York City originally. Shout out to Queens. And my first job ever was in Elmira, New York, 2 hours away from here. Very different vibe. So I've had people in Buffalo and I've visited here before. I was able to walk in the Pride Parade here. And so I felt such a good vibe with Buffalo that when I got this job, I was like, okay, this is going to be a good place for me. And so far, it's been.
I would say as far as crazy events in Buffalo, Al, I mean, you got your St. Patty's parade. You have your mythical Bills Super Bowl parade, which will obviously be every fun. But that Pride Parade gets nuts. They come by me on Lafayette Avenue. And I mean, let's face it, if you don't have your head on a swivel, things can get dangerous quickly, is what I would say.
No, the energy was immaculate. I fell in love with Buffalo on that day. And it's just so crazy that a couple months later, I ended up moving here.
So you've been here. So Chelsea, real quick, you've been here for 3 months.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the food? Have you had
food?
Yes.
Is so surprisingly, like, I had no idea that upstate New York could be so good with food. And I feel like I'm such a foodie, and I'm such a bougie New York City girl. Like, I just rep it. I rep it so hard, and I rep our food. But I swear, you guys have such good food. I had pizza for the first time this weekend. But the Barbell North, the wings are impeccable. So.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, now here's the thing. I'm not going to roast Miss Buffalo. I'm not going to come on the program and do that. I do. What would I tell someone else who's not Miss Buffalo? It's a little bit of a cliche, Barbara. But no, she has to represent the whole region. So Miss Buffalo doing exactly what Miss Buffalo should. So with that said, Chelsea, talk to me about the competition. There was a lot of adversity. I saw the ramp up. I mean, this isn't something that just happened in one day. I mean, this was weeks and months in the making here.
Truly, I think it was it's preparing for these pageants it's like a mental game. You need to, for me, I'm a dancer. That's my talent. So it's physically, I had to get myself in shape and figure out my dance and get confident. And especially when you're going for a title for a place that you're not originally from, you have to really know what you're talking about. I needed to be confident that if I got this title, I would be able to represent Buffalo and the Queen City and do it well and be knowledgeable and be able to talk about it and share my experiences. And I'm lucky enough that I work for a News 4. I work for a station where I'm hearing people's stories every day, and I'm out in the community talking to people and getting to know what Buffalo is all about. So that really helped me and helped me prepare for this.
This is a great candid shot. I just got to say, because right now you only get one shot at this. Like the crowning photo. I mean, you don't get like retakes. You don't get reshoots like big budget movies. You get a moment nowadays. You got to make it happen. So kudos to that for you there. With that said, we are now entrenched in a Miss New York State run. I mean, you've won Miss Buffalo. We need to win the state now. We need to show them that Buffalo.
No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that win that you had yesterday, it's great. And it still means a ton to all of us. But we need to become Miss New York State. So I mean, what besides being as Buffalo can be, what's the key to that?
Well, the key is that we're through the Miss America organization, which is all about service. So for me, it's hitting the ground running and getting in the community and servicing my people, working on my social impact initiative, Resilient Warriors Awareness and Aid for Domestic Violence. And I'm lucky enough to partner with Catholic Charities and the Family Justice Center to hopefully get some good work there. But it doesn't stop there. There's so many different niches. I mean, I was at the Resurrection Life Food Pantry today doing a story with them, and they're doing incredible work, and they're going to be having a toy drive. So we're excited to me and my sister queens and our teens to go and service the Buffalo community through that. We're working on our talent. We are so blessed to have an incredible board for the Miss Buffalo organization that really, they want a Miss New York, and they plan to get us there, and they're going to work our butts off, but it's all going to be through love. And like we said, we just want to do the Queen City, Niagara proud.
And so I got to ask you, Chelsea, are you going to be like doing this stuff all over New York State?
Mostly I'm just going to stay in our area, but if there are events that make sense for me to go to, like if there's something going on in the Finger Lakes, that was my previous title, Miss Finger Lakes. And obviously that's an open title and it's all encompassing. We're so close. So if there are events over there that it makes sense for me to go for and help out with, I'd be happy to, but mostly it's working on your specific area and highlighting your area and showing that you can do so much great work here. And then eventually, when I become Miss New York, then
now that's the exact mantra that we have. I heard some great choreographed answers. They were all very well, but I need that confidence. I need that moxie, and that's what I'm talking about, Miss Buffalo. By the way, Chelsea Lovell, folks, for those just tuning in, meeting her for the first time, Miss Buffalo here on Trainwreck Tonight 269. Shout out Ray Lewis and Ken Dorsey, because as far as she's concerned, it's all about the U.
That's right, baby.
I was going to say, and when it comes to that, because you were just talking about the dancing ability, I've been known to, throw a couple random inebriated moves in my day. With that said, you have two minors out of the U. You have relating to the public, also known as public relations, and dancing. If you had to do one with it all on the line for Miss New York State, which would it be?
Dancing, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What song would it be? Or will it be, I guess? Is this a spoiler?
Yeah, this might be a spoiler, but I'm thinking about dancing to a Tina Turner song because she's just she's fiery. She had the big curly hair and she had
just at Shays, right? Did you just get inspired?
And they were just performing at Shays. I got to interview some of the cast members, and one of them went to my high school, LaGuardia. She was a dance major too, and then she switched to drama. So yeah, I'm feeling like Tina Turner might be it.
I mean, Chelsea, I don't mean to make this all about me because you are Miss Buffalo, but if you put a Venn diagram of performed at Shays in fall 2022, Tina Turner and I would both be in the middle.
I believe it.
Yeah, can you? I mean, so I can't believe it.
You're just as much of a diva.
Seriously. Now, okay, speaking of being a diva, Chelsea, you had to feel that fallout yesterday. I mean, that was basically like a 6.1 earthquake as far as Buffalo's concerned. What was the reaction you saw? I mean, you're a representative of the region now. So I need a voice of reason. I need someone who's going to not skew it for me. I mean, just tell me like it is. What happened? What was the reaction you saw yesterday? What do you think is the spin zone and positive vibe today?
You know what? You could tell today felt like such a Monday just because of yesterday. And the weather didn't help. It was just, you know what? The weather was bad. We had snow. It was all because of that. Honestly, that's what it felt like. But in times like these is when you really got to hold faith. You got to pray. You got to believe in the people that you've been rooting for and trust that this isn't over. It's not over till it's over, baby.
Wow. Literally. I already feel better. I kind of forgot about everything that happened.
Good.
Speaking of it not being over till it's over, every so often, I'm not going to lie. I have somewhere to be. And Al, I might go a little quickly. So I got to make sure I'm not doing this on the News 4 traffic cams, Chelsea.
Yes.
I saw somebody get roasted.
Because I will call you out.
Yeah, I to be honest, you should be pitching this to a producer, live call outs from Chelsea Lovell, Miss Buffalo. I mean, jeez, the price of you on for a 30-second spot just tripled. I'm sorry, News 4. I'm just stating the facts.
It's my favorite thing to do. There's, I go on air starting at 5 a.m. So there's not much traffic these days.
Let's spice
to
it
talk
up.
about.
Let's throw some oregano.
So you know what? You call them out. That's what you gotta do. It. I mean,
5 a.m. You've probably seen the CRV flying down to the 33.
Yeah, people are
flying down the 33.
All kinds of moves. But hey, again, huge thank you to Chelsea. Chelsea, it's it's kind of a custom. Al, we got anything else we're wrapping? Anything else we want to talk about, Miss Buffalo? I'm skewing a little bit.
You said you're Queens. Are you a Jets fan? Are you a Giants fan?
No, which is why everyone has asked me, because I've really hopped on the bandwagon, and I get it because I went to University of Miami. Those fans are so crazy and they love the Canes. And I never grew up watching football. I didn't watch football until I got to college, and then I became a Canes fan. So moving here to Buffalo, Bills Mafia reminds me so much of those crazy Canes fans. There's so much pride. There's so much love. Yep. Win or lose, you're rooting for your team. And so I've never had an NFL team to root for. So it's been so easy to fall in love with the Bills because you guys I feel like there's no choice being here. Yeah. But I'm happy to do it because you guys are so fun.
But you're right. Honestly, football down south is just so different. Yeah. Miami, Florida State, Georgia, Bama, those schools, those tailgates, those fan bases are just insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how are we feeling about Miami this year, Chelsea? It's been a little up and down. I mean, the Florida State game that was rough.
Oh my goodness, that was my homecoming game.
You were there?
I was there.
Oh no!
It was the alumni where we danced on the fields, and it was painful, but I think Bills fans get it more than anything. You just gotta love them and hope for better days.
But you want to talk about getting it, Chelsea? About 4 years ago, me and this gentleman traveled down to Baltimore for the optimistic opening game of the Buffalo Bills 2018 season. It was a monsoon, and we lost 47-3.
Oh, well, Miami wasn't far behind. I think the final score was like 43-3.
Yeah, but at least when you left the stadium, you got to see probably Pitbull, like, throwing a party out there going nuts. We left in Baltimore. It was just like 2 rundown bars and a Motel 6.
Yeah.
Oh, all due respect to our listeners in Baltimore who have a lovely neighborhood, house, and home, and area. Of course, once we get to Miss USA, I don't want Miss Buffalo to be caught up in any of my controversial comments. So
we love you, Baltimore.
Seriously, love you, Baltimore. But yeah. Hey, Al, anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, hey, we got sign-offs and shout-outs and sign-offs in that order. Chelsea, any shout-outs?
Shout out to News 4. Shout out to the Bandettes, my dance team. And
okay. The Bandettes. I didn't know you were a Bandette. I'm sorry. This is cluelessness.
No, that's okay.
Can we talk about Banditland for a minute?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, Banditland low-key for the last 8 years has been crazier than Sabres games.
I've heard that. I am so excited for our first game. Like, I can't wait because I heard that it's insane.
Oh my gosh, fans are literally losing their brains. I don't know what it is, Al, but I would say it's just like in Game of Thrones when they used to be like one Northman is worth like 5 by sea or something. One Bandit fan is worth like 5 Sabres fans in KeyBank Center.
Yeah, well, I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. My coach is lovely. My teammates are lovely. They've helped me really get into Buffalo and feel like I'm making this place my home. So look out for me, Banditland.
That's the kind of almost obviously there's no Elmira team, but Saturday, December 3rd against Albany, interstate matchup to open up the season for the Bandits.
That's right. I'll be there.
That'll be pretty exciting. You know what? Al and I actually did have plans that day of the 2022 MAC championship, but they actually got canceled due to the way their team has played. So our December 3rd just opened up. We might be going to Banditland that night.
See you there.
Shout out to the Bandits. And Al, you got any shout outs?
Fall sucks. Nate Geary's in Vegas tomorrow. Can't wait to see how he golfs.
Can't wait to see that great Nate Geary Vegas content. I mean, I'm sure he'll be dominating, getting all kinds of intuitive stuff that you've never seen before, and not just one picture of the golf course and nothing else.
Yep. And then the other thing I had to bring up, I don't know if you saw this, Maniac, was the one sports gambler who had $5 to win $99,000 and lost because of a Chiefs missed extra point. $5 for $99,000. And Chelsea, I know, I'm guessing you're not the biggest gambler out there on sports.
Really? That's so crazy. Don't I look like it?
Chelsea's a high roller.
You could be throwing down on DraftKings every Sunday morning.
FanDuel is trying to get Miss Buffalo on like the ads. I'm telling you, the price per 30 seconds is skyrocketing.
But guys, $5 for $100,000 pretty much on a missed extra point, dude. This
is what I would tell you, Al. And it was like what the last thing? It was the last leg.
Or
was
legs.
It a same game parlay?
It was 2 legs. It was 2 legs betting the correct score.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Even I can do the math and those odds, and that's just painful.
So what I would say, and this is the only thing that can be said, is that's a binary bet situation to me. And what I mean by a binary bet is you don't look at like the specifics of what happened in the bet. You either just look that you won or you look that you lost. You don't look like, oh, I missed it because something that happens 96% of the time didn't happen.
No,
because that's enough to. I mean, you want to talk about turning your Monday into a Monday? I'm talking turning your Monday into like a prison gulag cell of a Monday.
But Maniac, I'm talking. This doesn't happen 99.999% of the time. Still, you lost on an extra because of a missed extra point.
I'm there with them. I feel gambling is not for the weak of heart. Neither is Buffalo sports the last 10 days. Hey, we got it going in the winning direction today.
That's
with
right.
Stevie
Let's
Johnson.
stay positive. Keep the
We handle business and we had fun with Stevie Johnson. We brought on Miss Buffalo. All she does is win this past week, taking it down, and we are ready to represent the state, and we aren't going to stop there, folks. We're going to go to Louisiana. We're going to go to Florida. We're going to go to Ohio. We're going to go to Indiana. We're going to go to California. And then finally, we're going to go back to Bennett High School and win Miss USA.
Miss America.
Miss America. By the way, is Steve Harvey hosting this year? I mean, this is really an odyssey and journey.
I don't know. He hosts the Miss USA pageants.
Okay.
But I don't. They haven't said anything about this year.
Okay, you know what? I like that. That was a trick question, Chelsea. She's not looking ahead. She's focusing on the next task.
Focus one step at a time. Okay.
When's the state competition? May, June?
It's the end of it's a week long. It's the very last week of May into June.
I love that because you get to be like a 6-month campaign now as Miss Buffalo. That's what's deserved. I like it. We're getting our people some time. Folks, speaking of time, make sure you are following us on all the platforms. Apple,
Spotify, YouTube,
SoundCloud, all that. Yes. Very exciting. We will be throughout the week, Sabres games. We will be launching some NBA live bet-alongs. So make sure you're following those. And we have all kinds of wrestling action on the weekend and all kinds of sports and entertainment as we head into what will be a most important next 8 to 10 weeks for the Buffalo sports landscape. But for the Buffalo landscape, huge shout out, Miss Buffalo making an appearance. Chelsea Lovell, thank you very much again.
Thank you so much for having me. Follow
Thank
me
you,
on
Chelsea.
Instagram, Chelsea Lovell __.
Don't forget that double underscore, okay? Because I see you remembering it. You're remembering, Chelsea Lovell, easy to remember. You're going to forget the double underscore. Make sure you get it. So you can see her traffic run. She might be roasting people on Channel 4. Maybe we're tuning into WIVB every so often. So
I roast Chris on a daily basis.
Seriously, folks. Thanks for following along. We will roast, but we will not roast you. Just make sure you go have a good night.
Night.
Now.